Does it say recording on your guys' side? No? Oh, now it does. Okay,
Yeah,
now I see it.
It was saying like recording about to start.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you, Riley. All right, so our learning target is the same as what we've been looking at. We are going to determine if a shape has been partitioned to equal parts to show a fraction. And we're also going to be able to relate that understanding to how to write a fraction using a numerator and a denominator. So that's our learning target for today. The first thing that we're going to take a look at is our assignments. So we're going to look at our handouts for fractions, which is in your pink folder. I also want to remind you that in your folder today in Schoology, there is notes that you're going to be taking using your anchor chart, and I'll show you what that anchor chart looks like in just a moment. But there's a video in your Schoology folder that tells you that you're going to add to your composition notebooks. And we're going to add the fraction anchor chart into our composition notebooks. So you're going to have to find those composition notebooks if you don't have it handy at some point, not now, but later. We're going to go over our DMA quick check answers if we have enough time. Remember that you're also going to do your DMA video solutions check. Today in your discussion, there is a problem in the DMA that I want you to answer the problem into the discussion if you haven't already done that. And we're also going to look at week 20 word problems for Monday. Okay, so that's my exit ticket. So I'll move away from that for just a moment, and I'm going to unshare my camera real quick. So you're going to take notes in your composition notebooks today. You're going to need that. And in your composition notebook or in your pink folder, there is an anchor chart that looks like this. You're going to paste that into your DMA notebook, and the video does give you directions on how to do that. And then there's a section on the back that you will need to take notes, and that's also in the video. Okay, so those are in the video today, along with you have your week 20 word problems. So those are the two problems that you're going to do right here. That's your week 20. I also put a video solution video in there on these two problems. So if you want to go back and check those, that is also available in your Schoology folder today. So that's already in there. So we're going to quickly review fractions, and then we're going to do a Nearpod activity. So I'm going to put into the chat a link. Everybody's going to need to click on the link. Oh, actually, no, not yet. Hang on, sorry, my fault. I was going to review fractions first before I do that. Okay, so just a quick review, all right? I just want to remind everybody about the parts of a fraction and what they mean, okay? So remember last Thursday, we started talking about the parts of a fraction. We know that we have two numbers that make up a fraction, but what are they called and what do they mean? So the denominator is the first part of our fraction that we want to take a look at. So the denominator is the number of total parts in the whole. So this circle right here is one part. So we can say that that fraction, that denominator is 1 right now. But if we take that circle and decide to break it up into parts or pieces, then in this case, we have 2 equal parts, which are called halves. Now our denominator changes from 1 whole to 2 halves. And if I cut each one of those pieces of watermelon in half again, that would change our denominator from 2 equal pieces to 4 equal pieces. So remember that your denominator is the first number you want to take a look at when you're looking at how many parts are in the whole. So let's take a look at our circle. We know that this circle is 1 whole circle for right now. But now, if I take it, now how many pieces is it, Riley? How many parts are in the whole?
There is 8.
8. There's 4 on the top and 4 on the bottom, so that makes 8. So my denominator is going to be
8.
8.
Yes, 8.
Great. Or we call those 8s, right?
Yeah.
It's broken up into 8 equal pieces. We call those 8s. Zach, do you have a question?
Where's my fraction thing that I'm gonna put in my math composition notebook?
It should be in your pink folder with everything else. So take a look at that a little later. Don't worry about that right now, Zach. We'll look for it a little bit later, okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right, now we have a pentagon. Right, David? Pentagon? Okay. Pentagon has 5 sides. That is 1 whole pentagon. That's what our denominator is now. But as soon as I start breaking that denominator or that hexagon into pieces, my denominator is going to change to what, David?
5.
5 or fifths. So now we know that this hexagon is broken up into 5 equal parts, and we call those parts fifths. Let's take a look at the hexagon. Willie, that hexagon right now is 1 whole, but if I break it up into pieces, how many parts or pieces is my hexagon broken up into now?
6.
6. And we call those sixths with a TH, right?
Yeah. Yes, 6.
Yes. So my denominator goes from 1 whole to 6 equal pieces. So the denominator is a really important number because it tells you what fraction you're working with. So before we were working with halves, with the pentagon, we were working with fifths, with the hexagon, we're working with sixths. Now we're going to talk about the numerator. So the numerator is the number of counted parts, whatever those counted parts may need to be. So first we count all the parts in the whole, and then we have to answer whatever question they're asking us to describe what parts are we looking for in as the numerator. We're going to count those parts from the whole. Right now we have 1 whole circle, and it's still 1 whole shaded. So all of it is 1 whole. But if I decide to partition it, Raven, how many pieces is my circle broken up into now?
Eight.
That's right. It's broken up into 8 equal pieces, and we call those eighths, don't we? So we call 8 equal pieces, we call those eighths. Now, Zach, how many of those pieces are shaded?
2.
2 eighths. So the fraction for my shaded parts is going to be 2 eighths. Riley, what would happen if I decided that I wanted to ask about the unshaded parts?
What was that?
What would happen to my numerator if I was going to ask about the unshaded parts?
It would be, let's see,
What fraction would be unshaded?
6/8.
Right, 6 eighths. Notice my denominator didn't change, only my numerator changed because of the question that I was asking you. What parts was I asking you to count? Well, in this case, I was asking you to count the unshaded. And
Yeah.
Zach was being asked to count the shaded. So it depends on what you're being asked for the numerator. Thank you, Riley.
Mhm.
All right, now let's take a look at pentagon again. If I have one hole and it's all shaded in, that tells me I have 1/1, which is one hole. Now, if I take and break it up into 5 equal pieces, just like I did earlier, but now I'm going to shade in those pieces. Willie, what's going to be my fraction for the shaded pieces?
4/5.
What do we call the 5?
The 5 is the is fifth.
Fifths. Very good. There you go. 4/5. Now, Willie, what if I asked you what the fraction is for the unshaded?
1/5.
1/5, right. So remember, the numerator is important when you're asking the question about how many parts of the 5 equal parts that you're asking about. So the question has to be very specific. Is it shaded, unshaded, polka dotted, striped, purple, or pink? Depends on what the question is what the number of parts you're going to count. Okay, so that's 4/5. One more. We know that we have one whole hexagon. It's all colored in or shaded, so we have 1/1. But if I decide to break it up into 6 equal pieces, just like Raven told us, what if I color in 3 of those? What happens to my numerator, Raven? What's my numerator going to be if I color in those 3 pieces?
3 shaded.
3. So I would say that that's 3/6, right? So David, now let's think about this. If 3/6 is my shaded, what would be the fraction of my unshaded?
I think the same thing.
Right, it would be the same thing because we have the same number of shaded parts as we do unshaded parts, right? And this happens to be a fraction that is equal to 1/2 because whether we have the same amount shaded or the same amount unshaded is exactly the same out of the total 6 parts. So this is actually an example of a fraction that would be also equal to 1/2. So now we're going to take a look at our activity. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat. And the link is going to be in the chat. When I send it, go ahead and click on it and then click join meeting. And I will see people start to pop up on my. Make sure you put your name. So you're going to type your name and then click join meeting. So I see David, I see Willie. I see Riley. Zach. Did you type your name in, buddy? Oh, you're going to click on the link first, Raven. Once you click on the link, then you're going to type your name into the area that it tells you name. And then click join meeting, Zach, when you're done. Or join lesson, whatever it might be. I think it's join lesson. What's it telling you, Zach?
It says it's going in the like a little circle.
Oh, it's just loading. So it sounds like it's a little slow today.
Like yeah.
Why don't you turn off your video and see if that helps? I don't see Zach yet. I don't see Raven yet. Okay, now I see Raven. Now I'm just waiting on Zach. All right, so while I'm waiting for Zach to pop up, in the activity today, you are going to have pairs of cards. Now, the object of the activity is your goal is to match the fraction on one card with the figure that matches that, or the picture that matches that fraction. Okay, so I'm going to repeat myself one more time. The object or the goal of your activity today is to match the fraction with the figure of the shaded part of that figure. Okay, that's what you're going to be doing. So it's a match game, pretty much. That's all it is. You're matching the fraction with the figure that matches the shaded part of that fraction. Okay, I'm still waiting for Zach. Zach, why don't you try hitting the refresh in the top left corner where the circle is and the arrow? That might help. See if mine works too. It's not working. Okay, Zach, why don't you try closing it, and then I'll put the link back into the chat and try clicking on it again. Just close that window and then we'll put it back in the chat again and click on the link again and see what happens. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna wait about 30 more seconds, Zach. If you can't get it, then we'll try doing it at the end for you, okay? Okay. All right, Zach, well, we're gonna go ahead and continue on. And if you happen to get it to work, I'm sure I'll see your name pop up here. All right, so the next window is going to show you your activity. Everybody's going to click to start, and you're gonna match those cards with the fraction that goes with it. Remember, your denominator tells you how many parts are in the whole. Your numerator is going to tell you how many parts are shaded.
This had a meal.
Yes, Willie, you're done.
Yeah, was it supposed to start? Or are we supposed to start?
Yeah, you were good. You're fine. Oh, there's Zach. Yay, Zach, you made it. Okay, match the card with the fraction on it, Zach, that matches the figure that goes with the fraction, okay? So there's a card that has a fraction, and then you're going to match it with the figure that matches that fraction that it shows, okay?
Okay, so
Good job, Raven. There you go, Zach. All right, nice job, Miss Raven. Way to go. Thumbs up. Keep it up, Zach. Good job. You're almost there. Wow, this group has really done well on this activity today. Nice job.
now
Okay, well, just wait 1 minute. Zach's almost done. We're going to have an exit ticket for this activity. Ah, Zach, you're finished. Good job. Now, if you see, wait for your teacher, then you're going to say, got it. Now you can close the activity, and I'm going to open up your exit ticket, and we're going to type in the chat the answer for my exit ticket today. So I'm going to show you my exit ticket. It's going to be on your screen, and it says, what fraction of the hexagon is shaded pink? You're going to use the slash as your fraction bar. The fraction bar is that bar that separates the numerator from the bottom number, which is your denominator. Don't hit send until I ask you to hit send, okay? What is the fraction of the hexagon, or what fraction of the hexagon is shaded pink? That's what we want to know. So you're going to write a fraction in the chat, and I'm going to give you about 30 more seconds.
me.
You got to put it in here. Good job.
Good job, Raven. All right. So remember, a fraction has a numerator and a denominator. The numerator is the parts that we count, that they're asking us to count, and the denominator tells us all the parts in the whole. All right. Let's take a look at what we've got. Let's go ahead and hit send.
Oh my
Ooh, I like how you did that, Riley.
God.
Cool. All right. So everybody, I see everybody kind of put 3/6, right? Because 3 of the 6 pieces are shaded pink. So if you put 3/6 as your fraction, that would be correct, 3/6. So nice job. Now we're going to take a look at the assignment for today. So I'm going to share, oops, unshare. Okay, and then I'm going to share my screen. And you are going to need this assignment right here. This is the one that we're working on right now. Yes, Riley.
Well, back then ago, I already did like the front page and the back of it, like the very front.
Okay,
First
bye, Raven. Thank you for coming to class. Good to see you. Yes,
Thank you.
bye, Raven. So Riley, with that, what we'll do is I may have you add something. Yes, Zach, that's the one you need. Okay, buddy? I may have you add something to it. So we'll just listen carefully as I go over the directions. I'm going to change a few things up, but should be good. Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. We're going to take a look at
Miss Hudamil, can I leave?
where are you going?
Oh, I thought no, leave the meeting because some other people left.
No, it was just Raven. She had to go. So you're good.
Oh,
Not
it just
yet.
looked a little shorter.
You're good, buddy. Thank you. It's okay. All right. So we're going to take a look at our assignment today. Let me see if I can bring that up. Nope, maybe not. Everybody sees each other. Oh my goodness gracious. Where is my... Okay, here it is. Okay. Everybody ready? Okay, so on your paper, don't forget to put your name and date, please. Name and date on your paper. Very important, especially whenever I get your, Miss Badger and I get your assignments, okay? Sometimes we have to sort through all of the paperwork and sometimes we see that you guys miss your name. So the first thing it's asking you guys to do is write each missing number. Now, I'm going to change the directions a little bit on this, so you have to kind of pay attention to what I'm asking you to do. So on here, there's a blank and it says blank equal parts. So Riley, if you look at that rectangle, how many equal parts do we have in that rectangle?
2 equal parts.
There are 2 equal parts. And this number is called our what?
It's hard like to pronounce it correct. Diameter?
No, the diameter would be the line across from a circle. Denominator.
Oh, thank you. Sorry.
You're welcome. Denominator. So the denominator is how many parts there are in the whole. We know that there are 2 equal parts here. Now, we don't know what the numerator is because they don't ask us a question to help us understand what part of the rectangle we're looking at. But we do know that each one of these parts is 1/2. So we're going to label each one of those parts in the fraction of the rectangle 1/2. Now, if we look at number 2, Zach, how many equal parts is my circle broken up into?
Three.
Yes, there are 3 equal parts in that circle. And what would we label each one of those parts, Zach?
1/3.
1/3. Nice job. So we're going to label each one of those pieces one of the 3 pieces, 1/3. Now, when I look at this blank here, I know that each part of my circle is 1/3 of that circle. So I'm going to fill this in with a 1. Now, again, I don't know what my numerator is. Right now, they're just seeing if I know what my denominator is. But if I were to say shaded, unshaded, polka dotted, striped, then I could use that information to tell me what my numerator would be. But we don't know because they don't give us any specific descriptions yet. All right, so for 1 and 2, we did 1 and 2 together. You're going to do the same thing on number 3. And you're going to do the same thing for number 4. Now, when you go to label number 4, you're going to have to be very careful and writing that because it's very, very small. So when you go to label each one of those with 1/8, you're going to have to use the slash to help you with as the fraction bar there. The slash is the fraction bar. Okay. Okay. Now, on the back of that page, which is labeled day 2, and I'm just going to make sure I've got this focused. Okay. Day 2 is kind of like the activity that we did today. We're matching the fraction of the shaded part with the fraction that matches that. So we're matching the figure with the fraction. Does that make sense, David? On the back of that page? And I want you to make sure that you label the unit parts. Okay? Label the unit parts. Zach, you have a question?
Are we doing 8 questions?
We're actually going to do a 3rd page. So I'm going to have you go up to day 3. I know it said in the folder you're going to go up to day 2, but I think we can do day 3 too. So on day 3, we're going to look at day 3. On day 3, we're looking at writing the missing number, but now we're adding the numerator in here. So when I look at my circle, it's broken up into 4 equal parts. That's my denominator, right? My denominator is 4ths. But now I count the number of parts that are shaded. And now my numerator is going to be 3. So the fraction that this shape represents is 3/4 shaded. 3/4. And you're going to do the rest of those on your own for 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so that's what you're going to be doing today. Make sure that you hold on to your DMA answer sheet for tomorrow. I'll go over those answers from your quiz tomorrow. I think everybody in this group made sure to take their quiz. So good job on this group's, because we did have a couple of people that did miss it. So good job on your guys' part. Everybody, I didn't have to tell anybody in this group to go back and do their DMA quiz. So nice job. All right. So unless you have any questions, I will see you guys tomorrow and make sure that you have this worksheet finished and make sure you have your DMA ready to take a look at. Does anybody have any questions on the assignments for today? Yes, Zach?
I'm done with the day, and I went all the way up to day 3 now.
Oh, okay. And don't forget, you guys have a video for your fraction notes in your composition notebooks, okay? You're gonna also make sure to follow that in your, put that into your composition notebooks today. So that's a video in there for you to help you with that. Who's talking to me? All right, see you guys tomorrow. If you don't have any other questions, David, question?
Yeah, so I just have to do this.
Day 1, day 2, and day 3.
Okay.
And then whatever else is in your lesson plan and your Schoology folder today.
Okay, bye.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Willie, bye Riley. Bye Zach.
Bye.
Miss Adamio,
Yes, Willie.
can I tell you a joke real quick?
Tell me a joke.
Where
Better
was the
be really, really funny.
Okay,
I'm
where
just
was
teasing.
where was the Declaration of Independence signed?
Where? Is that what you said?
Yes.
I don't know. That's a good one. What was it?
At the bottom.
At the bottom of the document, right? That makes sense. Well, thank you for the joke of the day there, Mr. Willie. It goes with our social studies. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Oh. Boop, 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 boop.